Today, we're going to dive into a timeless story, but one with a seriously powerful lesson for anyone in leadership right now. It really boils down to a choice we all face. Do we bet on those big, explosive bursts of raw talent, or do we put our faith in the quiet, unstoppable force of just showing up, day after day? Let's get into it.
So think about your top people for a second. You know, your superstars. You see that incredible potential, right? But you also know the risk. Is all that intense effort actually sustainable, or is it just a fast track to burnout? That's the real tension we're going to unpack here.
Okay, so let me take you to a peaceful Chinese village, nestled right at the bottom of a mountain called Heaven Peak. The folks in this village, they had this one big dream, to build a beautiful temple way up at the top. The only problem? The path was steep. It was dangerous. What they really needed was a staircase, a literal path to the heavens. To take on this huge challenge, two very different people stepped up. On one side, you have Weii. Think of him as the sprint. He's all about raw talent, brute force, and getting it done fast. And then you have Lynn, who is the system. Quiet, deliberate, and incredibly patient. Two builders, two totally different game plans for achieving something great.
So first, let's talk about Weii. He's strong, he's charismatic, and he's just overflowing with confidence. He gets in front of the cheering crowd and basically shouts that he'll build this staircase faster than anyone could even imagine. He is that classic star performer, the one who promises huge, flashy results like yesterday. And then there was Lynn. She was an old widow. And her plan? Well, it was met with laughter. I mean, she wasn't the strongest, she wasn't the fastest. Her promise was so simple, it almost sounded ridiculous. I will carry 1 stone a day. That's it. No big speeches, just this quiet promise to do one small thing every single day. Now, as leaders, it's so easy to get drawn to Wei's way of thinking, isn't it? It feels like our modern project sprints, that all-hands-on-deck push to hit a crazy deadline. It's exciting, it's loud, and man, it promises quick wins. But, as this story shows us, the sprint, it almost always has a hidden cost. And here's exactly what happened. Wei's progress at the start was just spectacular. He was hauling these massive stones up the mountain, the staircase shot up, and the villagers were cheering him on. But just look at this chart. That incredible week 1 progress, by week 4 it's pretty much at 0. That kind of heroic burst of energy is almost impossible to keep up. The pace slowed, and eventually it just stalled out completely.
Pretty soon, Wei was just tired. He started sleeping in. And he told himself that classic line we've all used. It's fine, I'll just do twice as much tomorrow. And that right there, that's the whisper of burnout. It's that dangerous deal you make with yourself, promising some heroic effort tomorrow to make up for today. An effort that almost never actually happens.
This quote just nails Wei's downfall, doesn't it? As he stood there in the crowd, it finally hit him. All of his incredible talent, without any consistency, was just like thunder without rain. Yeah, it was loud, it was impressive, but in the end, it couldn't produce anything real or lasting.
So while Wei was sprinting and then stalling out, Lynn was just quietly doing her thing. Her strategy wasn't about power or speed at all. It was about something much deeper, the profound, almost invisible power of a daily habit.
You know, the absolute genius of Lynn's approach is just how simple it is. For her, only one number mattered. 1. 1 stone. 1 trip. Every single day. By focusing on this tiny achievable task, she basically removed all the pressure of the giant goal. This was never about being a hero. It was about having a system you can actually stick to. And this is where the magic happens. Through the heat of the summer, the autumn winds, the freezing winter snow, Lynn never stopped. Her tiny daily effort, which looked like nothing at first, it started to compound. Days turned into months, months into years, and then one morning, the villagers woke up to the sound of a temple bell. Lynn's path of patience was finally complete.
So what on earth does an old fable mean for you as a leader today? Well, that staircase to Heaven Peak, it's a perfect metaphor for the most important thing you'll ever build, your company's culture. Way too often, we treat culture like it's just another project. You know, the culture sprint with some posters and a big launch party. But a real, lasting culture isn't a one-time thing. It's the sum of all the little stones your team lays every single day. It's what you do, what you celebrate, and what you tolerate, consistently, over a long, long time. So how do you actually build it? Well, first, you've got to define your stone. What is that one core behavior, that one value that matters more than anything else? Second, you lay it daily. You have to reinforce it in every meeting, every decision, every time you recognize someone. And third, over time, you build your staircase. A culture so strong and so embedded, it can handle any storm that comes its way.
Look, building this kind of culture means you have to fundamentally change what you celebrate. It's about shifting away from praising those loud, flashy sprints and starting to really value quiet consistency. It means finding your own organization's path of patience and learning how to track the small steps that lead to something truly huge.
So how do you even track this stuff? Well, think about it in terms of 3 types of daily wins. A process win, hey, did we stick to the system we said we would today? A progress win, did we nudge a key result forward, even just by 1%? And a people win, did we actually reinforce our culture with someone on the team today? Those are your daily stones. You gotta celebrate them. If you take away only one thing, let it be this. This should be your leadership mantra. It's the ultimate lesson from Lynn and Weii. Because while talent makes a whole lot of noise, it's the quiet, daily discipline of consistency that actually builds the future you want. And that brings us to the most important question of all, the one for you as a leader. Take a hard look at your organization, your team, your whole strategy. What is that single most important action, your one stone, that if you laid it consistently every single day, would build your staircase to greatness? The answer to that question? Well, it could change everything.